Hey, welcome back. It's my privilege to have you with me. As you are enjoying your experience with this diatonic circle of fifths, I would like you to expand your horizons a little bit with those right hand improvisations. Now let me explain here. For the most part, we have been outlining most of the chord with the right hand using that 3, 5, and 7 of the chord, in this case C major 7. The 3, 5, and 7 along with that 5, 7, 9. And along with the neighbor tones, that gives us quite a bit to work with. However, there's a reason why we're doing this, actually multiple reasons. Here are a couple of important ones. It gives us a way to easily access the important chord tones, right? After all, this 3, 5, and 7, this 5, 7, and 9, they outline the chord, and they serve as our safety nets. These chord tones actually serve as a safety net, right? Because we know that when we land on them, everything sounds good. And we've also done it to create an awareness of that, so that you are pretty much guaranteed to be there, right? Whenever you position yourself in this manner. Well, I want you to maintain that awareness of where these chord tones are, and you will, in fact, still use these fingerings to access them at times. As a matter of fact, quite often. However, we don't want to limit ourselves to this. For example, let's pretend that we were playing a line here, something like, Now I want to go to the F major 7 chord. I want to hear I like that line. And I'm moving to that E minor here. Well, I don't want to go out of my way to play this A in a manner that requires me to go to this fingering that we've been accustomed to, right? The A is under our fingertips, so let's play it, right? Sure. And also, we're going to go beyond our usual scope here. I would like to give you a simple musical exercise. Now, don't let that word exercise fool you, because this is a musical exercise, and you'll want to incorporate this into your improvisations. We're simply going to use 2 fingers, our middle finger and our thumb. Just naturally position your hand and fingertips on the keys like this. Our third finger, for example, in this case I'm on the E, and the thumb is naturally on the C, right? We're skipping this scale tone. All right, we're going to continue doing that by moving the hand to the left. So it's middle finger, thumb, middle finger, thumb, middle finger, thumb. All right, and you can use this any way you like. You see, we are in the key of C. All the chords that we are playing are diatonic, meaning they use scale tones from the C major scale only, right? Therefore, all of these tones, all of the white keys, all of these naturals, we sometimes refer to them as, are compatible. Now, depending on the chord tone that you start on and end on, That sounds good. Okay, sometimes you won't even land on a chord tone. Okay, you might not prefer that, but you know you can resolve it to a chord tone, right? Yeah. So here is what I would like you to do. For each chord, the exercise, and you're not limited to doing this, okay? But this is the exercise. Let's start on the 3 of the chord. So the 3 of the chord, in this case, is E, right? Here we are. All right. Now, if I was counting, I don't want you to be concerned with this. However, if you were counting 4 beats, and we were playing 2 notes to the beat, like eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and let's complete our sequence here by playing another measure and going to that third up here with the pinky. You see what I did there? So we're playing with the middle finger to thumb, climbing down. This is a chord tone. It's actually the 5th of the chord, right? Now, our hand easily allows us to play this pinky on this E, which is 6 scale tones away. And it sounds good. We're starting on the 3rd, and we're ending on the 3rd. It's quite melodic. Let's do that for the next chord in the sequence. I'm going in a linear fashion here, not following the diatonic circle yet, but this will work just fine. Here's the 3rd of D minor 7. We can use this octave, whatever you like. Here we are. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't need to count. I'm just doing this in case you are. I want you to know that it works out nicely for a 2-measure segment. Let's go to E minor. The 3rd is G. F major. G7. A minor 7, the 3rd. B minor 7, flat 5. And once again we have our 1 chord here. Let's do this around the circle. Now you can hold that pedal down and see what kind of result you get. When you do it, things are going to kind of blur together a little bit, right? And sometimes that's really nice. I'm on E minor, the 3 chord. To the 6 chord. The 2 chord. Five. And 1. Now, when we do this, as we have just demonstrated, whether we're doing it in a linear fashion across all of the chords or around the diatonic circle, it can sound like an exercise. However, you are creating an awareness of how to access this pattern from every chord, okay? However, in actual playing situation, I want you to reflect on all the strategies, all these techniques that you have been exposed to from lesson 1 all the way up to now, and we can easily incorporate this into our playing. All right, let's just play rubato here. I'm going to lay down the C major 7 chord right there. I decided to play the full chord with my left hand, right? F major. You can play this chord whenever you like. You can change it whenever you like. For example, I started here. It doesn't matter where you place it. What will matter is how it sounds to you. You will make adjustments as you go along. You see, the thing about improvising is we don't want all the answers up front. We don't want to know during our early stages of development. We don't want to know if something is going to sound good or not. We want to explore and find those gems, okay? We want to find the diamonds. And to find the diamonds, we have to dig through the dirt a little bit, okay? Or a lot. We really want to make that part of the fun. It's a big part of the fun, all right? So let's say I was just applying a couple of the ideas we already have been exposed to. Going around the circle now. All of a sudden, you see what I did there, right? We just slipped it right in there. Here comes the 6th chord. We don't do it every time. With the sus. And then resolving to the 1 chord. Now when I did that, I didn't know where I was going to insert it. I just took little risks, okay? You want to learn to be a risk taker on the piano keyboard. Absolutely. Do not fear. Do not be afraid of sounds that you don't prefer to hear, all right? It's not like you're on the street, okay, and you have fear of getting run over, all right? There are no obstructions here, okay? The only thing, the worst that can happen here is you play something that doesn't sound wonderful, and that is wonderful because it teaches you something, okay? Yeah. Now, do you have to start on the 3rd? No, but we're doing this right now because we've been taking a very gradual approach to establish confidence very quickly with these ideas. And it feels good when you're confident, and that's what I want for you. So for this session, we're going to start on the 3rd of the chord. So how many sets do we play? 1, 2, 3, 4. Our thumb lands on the 5 of the chord, and then our pinky simply plays the 3. Now when I do this, when my thumb is on this G, I immediately get that little finger to spring right up to that 3rd of the chord, okay? A 6th away. Now that's not hard work because our finger is almost there already. F major. All right? And you can simply choose one simple chord progression like the one I just played. 1, 4, 1. Let's see where that takes us. Let's see what that sounds like. Now let's say I just do a simple chord tone idea here for the first chord. Here's the 5, 7, and 9. Going to the 4 chord. You see, we had a little movement in there. And it was tasteful because the idea was simple and it was complemented with something that had a little more activity. Let's do that again, something like that. Now, anywhere on the diatonic circle of fifths, you can start. All right? You don't have to start on the C major 7 chord, but you can make this really fun and have it sounding good by following the circle from wherever you begin. So let's say that you decided to start on the 3 chord, E minor. Here's an idea for E minor. Okay. Going to the 6 chord. To the 2 chord. Five. So that is the simple exercise. I want you to make music with that. Okay, we're going to expand on this idea, but we're taking little bites, okay? We're chewing a little bit at a time, and I want you to assimilate and actually get to enjoy these strategies in the context of what you're playing, okay? So have a ball with it all, and I certainly look forward to seeing you at our next session.